Hello! I wanted to show off my new macOS open source application called Xbox Controller Mapper today. It turns any Xbox Series XS controller, which has wireless Bluetooth and connects to your Mac, into a wireless macro pad, which can input any kind of keyboard or mouse inputs. I made this app because I wanted a way to control my computer and specifically do some vibe coding on my computer from the couch with a controller. And I found that any existing apps weren't good enough. They weren't exactly customizable enough, so I couldn't do things like map my own shortcuts to it. See here I have some of my keyboard shortcuts mapped to it, and I can do things like adjust the font size, launch a new window, launch a new tab, all from my controller. So what this app does is it gives you some extra depth and customizability on top of other apps that would do similar things. You can map one button to a single keyboard or mouse action, or you could go further and specify a long tap or a double tap action. So here on that start key I have single tap mapped to Command V, but then long tap is mapped to Command L, and then double tap is mapped to Command Shift V. So I have Keycaster here set up, so we'll see whenever I do a single tap on the start, we'll have a Command V, and then when I do a long tap, it should be a Command L, and then when I do a double tap, we see a Command Shift V. So the button behavior is customizable if you want to specify some long tap or double tap behavior. And then on top of that, we have another action layer called chord actions. So chords will let you map 2 button clicks or more. You could even map 3 or 4 to a single action. So here I have RB and X gives me Command Delete, or what I was using to resize my terminal up or down is RB and back and LB and back. So that's how I configure that. So that we can configure in this chords tab, and you can add a chord and then specify what you wanted to add to the chord and add the action. And then you have this joysticks tab, which you can configure your joysticks how you like. I think the default's pretty good for me, but if you like things more sensitive or less sensitive. And then what's really cool in here, I want to point out, is the activation modifier. So this mouse is pretty sensitive, but I want to be able to get around the screen pretty easily. So I want it to be a little bit more sensitive, but when I want that fine motor, then I can hold down the activation modifier, which I have mapped to RT here, Command and mapped to RT, and then whenever I move my mouse around and then I hold down Command, it gives me that fine-tune control. So if I was something in the terminal, I could highlight with more precision. And something that I have set up here is LT mapped to F13, which is bringing up Voice Ink, which is an open source transcription software for Mac, which uses some of the new models that does pretty well at transcription. So I can tap it here and say, can you sleep for 3 seconds? So that's how I'd be interfacing with these agents with my controller without having to really interact with my keyboard very much. Yeah, so this app is available now. You go download it and go try it out if you want to do some vibe coding with your controller.